Yo, what's going on YouTube? So today we have our Backlash kickoff show for our Backlash pay-per-view that is tomorrow at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know, a new start time compared to our normal time of 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But we have some, different things that came up, which is why our Backlash kickoff show is now 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So today I have with me usual AJ Duelist from GGE.
What up, guys? Welcome. I'm very excited for the show. All the stipulations and all the matches will be a very fun show tomorrow.
And then today we have ourselves a special guest in 3K5.
What's up, guys? How you guys all doing? Happy to be here. Thanks for having me on the show.
No problem. Glad to have you. Alright, so today we've had this pay-per-view built up for about a month now. It's been a long time coming. All these storylines have been developing for, a long time. Like I said, a month. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how they play out, and we're going to be basically predicting here what's going to happen, what we think is going to happen anyways, during these matches. If you guys have seen these before, you know what goes down in this video. So let's jump right to it, into our predictions. So our first matchup is going to be for the Intercontinental Championship, which you see in the bottom right corner of your screen right now. It's going to be the world's strongest man, Mark Henry, defending against the face that runs the place, John Cena. And before I give my prediction and 3K gives his, we're actually going to throw it over to the SmackDown General Manager, AJ Duelist.
So, ever since the start of the season, Mark Henry, if you're going back before that, when Mark Henry was taking on Edge, this kind of started this whole Hall of Fame thing, where Mark Henry was restarting the Hall of Fame, and his dominance really picked up at the start of the new season, with getting big wins over John Cena, and then winning the Intercontinental Championship against Roman Reigns, and then also beating Roman Reigns again with this devastating bear hug that he's been just choking the life out of everybody with. And nobody's been really able to stop Mark Henry, but he has a big challenge on Backlash against John Cena, but he's choked out John Cena before. I think he's going to do it again. I'm picking Mark Henry to retain the championship at Backlash.
Alright, so I definitely like the prediction there. With my prediction, though, I think I'm gonna have to go on John Cena. He's held basically every title there is, to hold, except for the prestigious Intercontinental Championship. That's the one title that's been looming over his head for his entire career. And I think he's gonna want this match maybe just a little bit more. Mark Henry just wants to dish out the pain. He wants to hurt Cena. Meanwhile, Cena has a desire of winning the one title that he has not held, and I think with the GG universe behind him, he's gonna get the job done. So we're gonna go ahead and turn it over to 3K5.
So I think you brought up a good point in saying Mark Henry only really wants to beat up Cena. He just wants to destroy Cena. Well, Cena, quite frankly, I don't think he cares how much he beat Henry up or how little he'll beat Mark Henry up, as long as he gets the win. I mean, they call John Cena Big Fight John. And right now I am going to go ahead and give my pick to John Cena.
Alright, so 2 picks on Cena, 1 on Mark Henry, and that's going to wrap up our prediction there for Cena versus Henry. We're going to go ahead and jump into our next matchup here. It's going to be an Ambrose Asylum match for the WWE United States Championship. It's going to be Cesaro defending against Dean Ambrose. This is a rivalry. It's been going down for quite a while now, actually, and it kind of started off with Dean Ambrose winning that U.S. title in a Fatal 4-Way ladder match at WrestleMania 7 in that a huge matchup. It is absolutely crazy, and no one really expected Ambrose to walk out with the title. I certainly didn't, honestly, and now it's kind of bringing us here to Backlash, where a winner takes all. Is the winner literally, he walks with the championships. The loser has no rematch. This is it. This is their final stand here in this rivalry. Ambrose is very familiar with the Ambrose Asylums. Now, Cesaro got a little taste of it on this past Raw when he took on mystery opponent Sheamus, coming out victorious, climbing over the cage, and with the win. So Cesaro, getting himself a little taste of how it's like. But the thing is, the master of this match, Dean Ambrose, is going to be inside that cage with Cesaro. So it's going to be a whole different field for Cesaro. Cesaro's tough, but my prediction is going to have to definitely fall on the Lunatic Fringe, Dean Ambrose. I'm going to swing it on over to AJ.
My pick is going to be Cesaro. I think Cesaro has been so dominant this season that I don't think that he's going to really lose yet. He's looked very strong. He also had a steel cage experience, and he won that match as well. He's been looking very strong, and I think that's just the start. So I'm picking Cesaro to retain his US Championship.
All right, true. So let's swing on over to 3K5.
Okay, so while you swing it on over to me, I'm going to ask you one question here. What is the first word in this match? What is the first word in the match type?
Ambrose.
How can he lose it? It's his match. It's his match type. It's his environment. It is what he just lives on. It's what he's just going. I think he's actually going here. This match is not going to be close, in my opinion. I think Dean Ambrose destroys in this match, and he is my pick here.
This is also winner takes all as well. There's no rematch for either man if they lose this match.
All right, so I like that. I like that a lot. So it's gonna be very interesting. I think it's gonna be one of the. All matches are big, but I think it's gonna be a match to look out for those spots and just crazy moments that's gonna happen. We're gonna see Ambrose take off on Cesaro. I don't know if Cesaro's gonna be ready for it. We'll see. There's only one way to find out, and that's tune into Backlash tomorrow, of course. So with that being said, we're gonna move from our pre-show down to the main card, where we have Raw superstars AJ Styles, the phenomenal one, take on the Eater of Worlds, Bray Wyatt, in a very personal fight. This all started back on the Raw after WrestleMania 7, where we saw Bray come out and basically, in his words, call out AJ Styles for everything that he is. And I mean, I don't really agree with some of the stuff that Bray says, but he says what he wants, and what he says he thinks is right. But I'm not going to go against Bray's words there. Now, two things to look out for this, really, is Bulletproof to aid AJ Styles, the Wyatt family to aid, obviously, Bray Wyatt in this one. We don't know if they're going to show up. Now, usually both, factions will accompany their leader to their matches. But you never know. Maybe AJ Styles wants to go in alone, or Bray wants to go in alone. Bray went alone against his fight against Randy Orton, and he won it alone. So you never know. This is a tough one for me to really call down the middle. But I think AJ Styles is going to go over Bray, to be quite honest. I think Styles is going to catch him with that one big move. I think Bray may dominates maybe a good 80% of the matchup, but I think one maybe phenomenal forearm or Styles Clash or even the calf killer that he's been using a lot recently is just going to end Bray Wyatt's nights, and Bray Wyatt's going to have no way, another choice but to either tap out or lay down for the 3 count. So my pick is definitely AJ Styles. I'm going to head on over to AJ.
I'm going to also go with AJ Styles. I think AJ Styles has looked very strong so far, while Bray Wyatt has looked relatively in between doing good and doing decent. AJ Styles has beat the World Heavyweight Champion. I don't think he's losing anytime soon. I'm going AJ Styles for the victory.
Okay. And with that being said, let's jump over to 3K5.
See, I'm going to go the opposite of you guys here. I'm going to pick Bray Wyatt. I think this is Bray Wyatt's turn to really kind of separate himself and kind of boost himself up. This is the perfect opportunity for Bray, and I do not think he lets it go to waste. I think Bray Wyatt is going to use this victory here to help propel him possibly to the main event status here in the coming months. We will see. But I am picking Bray Wyatt here tonight.
All right. Good predictions. So, with that being said, we're going to head into our next matchup. It's going to be the Demon King Finn Balor take on the King of Strong Style Shinsuke Nakamura. And this match has got a lot of personal feels to it, dating back all the way to NXT. But before I really jump into it, or 3K jumps into it, we're actually going to head over to the SmackDown General Manager, AJ Duelist.
So this started on the first episode of SmackDown with this feud. It started when Finn Balor and the club were facing Ascension, and they got disqualified due to Finn Balor's involvement and trying to manipulate a victory towards the club. So The Rock said, nope, you guys are out of the tournament. So then we were going to see Shinsuke's debut, but out of nowhere, Finn Balor comes up with a sledgehammer and attacks Shinsuke Nakamura. And recently, on the past episode of SmackDown, Finn took a step too far and possibly might have injured and ended Kota Ibushi's career. And backstage, Shinsuke Nakamura said, at Backlash, Finn Balor will die. So this is very personal. And I think this is the fire that Shinsuke needs to get himself fired up. I think this is his drive, and this is his purpose for tomorrow. It's Extreme Rules match, so that means there'll be no mercy between these two guys. I'm going with Shinsuke Nakamura to tie this rivalry up 1-1.
All right. So, honestly, this is another one of those matches where it's hard for me to call it on the middle. Balor has his club, which honestly could intervene and get inside this matchup.
No, he doesn't, actually. I'm making the announcement that the club is banned from ringside. Gallows and Anderson are banned from ringside tomorrow at Backlash.
Okay, so we won't have the club, so I guess it's going to be a one-on-one fair contest. For once, we'll see Balor without the club. With that being said, honestly, that's going to actually, without a doubt, put my votes on the King of Strong Style, Shinsuke Nakamura. Without that club, intervening, without them getting involved, this is definitely a moment that Nakamura can take to propel himself to that next level and win up Finn Balor, basically. So I have Shinsuke Nakamura going into Backlash this Sunday. That being said, we're going to head over to 3K5.
So I'm curious right now. I don't know if it's been announced or not, so I'm going to kind of ask you guys if it's been announced. Is Finn Balor going Demon?
Most likely, yes.
Okay.
Most likely? So it has been announced?
Yes, he will be Demon.
Okay, so that is a very, very I think that makes it a lot closer. I'm still going to Shinsuke, though, which is going to give us really our first sweep of picks when I really look at it. I just think Shinsuke right now is fighting for some, as you said right there. Finn may have ended the career. Like, Shinsuke is mad. He's really mad right now, and I think he's going to take that out on Finn, and I think he picks up the win here at Backlash.
Shinsuke is definitely driven after Kota Ibushi. We don't know how long Ibushi's going to be out for. He could possibly never wrestle on GGE again after that assault on Friday.
All right, so as you guys can tell, this is definitely a personal fight going into Backlash this Sunday. But with that all being said, we're going to jump into our next matchup where we have Kevin Owens taking on the Architect, Seth Rollins, in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Now, this feud, it's not a personal feud like the Balor-Nakamura one is. It's more... in case you guys didn't know, this is how it kind of all started out. So, before Seth Rollins rejoined Authority, Kevin Owens was in the spot that Seth Rollins is in today. He was the golden boy of the Authority. Now, both him and Triple H, the leader of the Authority, were both involved in a Fatal 4-Way WWE Championship match with Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. And we kind of all thought that, also Randy Orton, by the way, we all kind of thought that, Owens was going to go in there and Triple H was going to come and kind of help out Owens, putting him into that, that new stardom, that new, the next level in GGE. Well, that's what we all thought. But next thing you know, we have Triple H turning on Kevin Owens and pinning him to become the new WWE champion that he is today. We'll note on that later on tonight. But the point is that Kevin Owens is wanting Triple H. He wants Triple H. He doesn't truly care about fighting members of the Authority. He wants Triple H. Well, we've seen roadblock after roadblock come in Kevin Owens' way, whether it may be Samoa Joe, Big Show, Kane, but the one that's really gotten in the way of Kevin Owens is Seth Rollins, which is why they're at, this is why they're meeting up at Backlash tomorrow. And, Rollins is trying to end Owens' quest of going after Triple H. I don't know why Rollins is doing Triple H's dirty work, considering all the crap that's gone down between Rollins and Triple H in the past. I don't know. That's a question you have to ask Seth Rollins. But what I do know is it's going to be one heck of a fight, and I think they're going to tear up the arena. Now, I think it kind of goes without saying that we're going to see some Authority intervention tomorrow. But also, I feel that Kevin Owens just maybe might bring in that surprise that he's been talking about in a tag team partner, because Stone Cold Steve Austin, Raw General Manager, said that Owens has a guaranteed tag title shot, considering he defeated Kane, who was one half of the Raw Tag Team Champions. So I'm curious to see if that person's going to show up. But I think Owens has got this one in a powerful way. He's got the power advantage. Rollins has the the aerial advantage, the speed advantage in this one. But I think one pop-up powerbomb on the outside, or wherever it may be, the pop-up powerbomb is devastating. I think just one pop-up powerbomb just might end Seth Rollins. Now, Rollins is going to make a fight. He definitely will. But my pick's going to lay on, it's going to fall on Kevin Owens. So with that being said, we're going to head over to AJ.
I'm going to go the opposite. I'm going to pick Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins has had a really solid and better pay-per-view record than Kevin Owens. And I feel that Seth Rollins can perform a lot stronger on the big stage than Kevin Owens does. Kevin Owens has been shaky on the big stage. He hasn't really looked that good since bragging rights. And we haven't seen what Kevin Owens can really do on the big stage in a one-on-one matchup yet. So I just feel that Seth Rollins has more experience on the big stage one-on-one. So I'm going with Seth Rollins for the victory tomorrow.
All right, so we have one vote on Rollins, one vote on Owens. Let's see where the third and final vote goes in this one on 3K5.
Toss a coin, man, because this one is split right down the middle. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pick Kevin Owens. I believe Kevin Owens ends up going over and getting one on the Authority, which would just be absolutely huge for him, considering everything that's... And I think with a Falls Count Anywhere type of match, I believe that really, really helps just the viciousness that Kevin Owens likes to do. It's going to be everywhere, and Kevin Owens is really good at, using his environment to his advantage. Just ask his ring apron powerbomb he does. It's pretty devastating. He's really good, though, at finding those spots. So
and
I'm
he
going to go
could
ahead
potentially do that anywhere.
Yes, he can potentially do it anywhere. So I am going to give my pick to Kevin Owens simply on the fact of the match tag that this really is. I believe this match tag suits Kevin better.
True. All right. So, that being said, guys, we're going to head into our next matchup, which is a SmackDown Live matchup on the card. It's going to be the leader of Straight Edge Society, CM Punk, taking on the dead man, the Phenom, the Undertaker. Now, very personal feud as of late. Very personal feud, and I think someone who can give a better description of it is, of course, the SmackDown Live General Manager, AJ.
So for this feud, it's started off that Punk was saying, this is the reformation of the Straight Edge Society. We are going to make the universe pure again. We can save you, just come to us. And we saw a controversial finish at No Mercy with Punk's hand was on the ropes, and yet the ref didn't see it, and Undertaker got the win. Then after the match, Kurt Hawkins attacked, and he joined the Straight Edge Society. And lately, the Punk and the Straight Edge Society are saying, just join us, Undertaker. Just join us and become pure again. Join us and become a straight edge. But ever since then, Undertaker isn't having any of it. And he says that he's going to punish him like the touch of the Grim Reaper. I believe Undertaker's statement is true. I'm picking Undertaker for the victory in the Last Man Standing match.
Okay. All right. This one is just another one. There's so many factions in GGE. I feel that we may see some intervention from, Straight Edge Society in this one, aiding out CM Punk, helping him to the victory. But Undertaker's a guy who he can overcome just about anything that's thrown at him. We've seen that in the past, multiple-time world champion. Look at everything he's accomplished in his career. That'll, look at the record books. That tells you right there. But even the fact of Punk having Straight Edge Society, I don't think it's really gonna, really affect Undertaker. Undertaker's someone it's gonna be extremely hard to play mind games with him. I think only maybe one other person's gotten into his head. Maybe that was Bray Wyatt. But at the end of the day, I think we're going to see the Phenom, The Undertaker, having his arm raised with the victory. So that being said, we're going to head over to 3K5.
See, I hate to sound repetitive, but, I've done it with 2 other matches here. I mean, I'm looking at this matchup straight on one-on-one. It'd be close. I think it'd be a real close matchup. But I look at the match type, last man standing. This favors the dead man. It has to, right? Like, am I crazy to say that?
No.
Yeah, like, this definitely favors him, this match type. And I'm going to go ahead and go with the favorite on that. I believe Undertaker is definitely a hard favorite just because of the match type. And I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to pick The Undertaker. I'm just curious, if Undertaker wins here, I mean, I really doubt it's over. There's no way. Like, I'm just curious to see where this goes, for sure.
Yeah, true, because you got to think, if Punk gets victory over Taker, will Undertaker retaliate, the following SmackDown, or vice versa, That's going to be quite interesting. So now that we've covered that, we're going to head into our first of 2 major championship matches. It's going to be for the new World Heavyweight Championship. If you guys didn't hear, The Rock, SmackDown General Manager, wants to bring in the rich history of SmackDown. What better way to do it than bring in the big gold belt, the classic World Heavyweight Championship, to SmackDown Live? Obviously, going to force the WWE Universal title to, go to retirement here. And that new world title will be hung above the ring in this TLC match where The Miz defends and doesn't defend. It's hard. I don't know how you would really put that, but he will be taking on Alberto Del Rio and Daniel Bryan for the new world title. Daniel Bryan, he's a guy who he's pretty good in ladder matches. He's done some very interesting things in ladder matches, as well as Alberto Del Rio. Now, one person we haven't seen in ladder matches is actually The Miz. So this is something new for him here in GGE, is competing in a ladder match for a mid championship. A lot on the line here for all men. The winner of this obviously goes down in the record books as the first world champion in the new era of SmackDown Live. Now, this is another match that's hard to really go for a pick because they all have their different styles. But honestly, I think The Miz is going to walk out victorious. He's going to retain at Backlash. He's going to pull something. It could be Maurice helping him or anything.
He's extremely crafty. Crafty. I will give you that.
He's definitely pretty crafty. So he's gonna find a way to win. It's just happening. It's inevitable. It's gonna happen. He's gonna do what he has to do to hold on to the major championship on SmackDown Live, remain a face of SmackDown Live. So obviously my pick, The Miz, and we're gonna head right over to AJ.
So ever since Daniel Bryan's got screwed over, he's saying, well, you didn't really beat me, you cheated. But then again, Daniel Bryan tapped out. But in this matchup, there's no tap outs, and there's no way that you can end off something. You have to climb up that 20-foot ladder, you have to climb that, you have to grab that title, and you have to pull it down. But it's easier said than done. There's 200 guys that are going to be trying to do the same thing as you. So it's going to be very hard to really make sure that their surroundings are not occupied by another guy in the ring. But I believe that what Josh said is true. Miz is very crafty. He'll pick his perfect opportunity to sneak up and get the title down. I got Miz retaining and becoming the first occupant of the big gold title in Season 8.
All right. So that being said, we're going to jump right over to 3K5.
As much as Miz is crafty, this pay-per-view is showing that I like people that have advantages in match types. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pick Daniel Bryan. I believe he is the best by far in terms of experience and just the ability with ladders. I believe he's gonna be able to hop up them a lot faster. I believe he's gonna be able to use them a lot better than these other guys. I just think Daniel Bryan in the end is gonna end up winning this, and he will be your first World Heavyweight Champion.
All right, I like the prediction. So I have been told that we are on a time limit. We gotta not really hurry up things, but kind of speed them up. Well, that's the same thing. Get my point though. The time limit. So we're gonna head right over to, in my opinion, the biggest match on the card. It's going to be Shawn Michaels versus Edge, career versus contract. If Edge wins, Shawn Michaels is done. He does not have a contract at GGE anymore. Now, say HBK wins, Edge's Raw contract is terminated, which means he's kind of a free agent. We'll see if anyone else picks him up if he happens to lose. Now, Edge is not going to let that just, happen. He's going to have to obviously bring a fight. He's going to have to bring a fight, as well as Shawn Michaels. This has gotten very personal. We just saw in the past Raw that Edge sneaked attack Shawn Michaels, attacked him from behind, and they had a huge brawl on Raw. So obviously they're both showing that they're willing to do whatever it takes to hold on to their career or contracts. So again, very personal, and they kind of have the same style in the ring, I guess. I'd say HBK is more high flying. Now Edge is more of a mind game type of player. He's going to always have something in the back of his head of a way to, pull off that different move.
The ultimate opportunist.
Yeah, there you go. The ultimate opportunist. He doesn't have that nickname for nothing. So I feel that he's going to play dirty in this one, and he's going to just figure out some way to screw over HBK. Could keep his contract and stay on Raw. So my pick, I got to go with the rated R superstar Edge. Now with that being said, we're gonna head right over to AJ.
Unfortunately, I believe the same thing. I believe that Edge has a lot better experience on pay-per-view and on the big stage, and Shawn hasn't really been able to perform up the standard so far in the big shows. We haven't seen him really do much lately on the big shows, and I believe that Edge can hit the spirit of nowhere, so I'm going to go with Shawn Michaels, unfortunately losing his career to Edge tomorrow night at Backlash.
Alright, so let's jump right over to 3K5.
You know what, guys? I'm going to switch this up. I'm going to pick Shawn Michaels because, when somebody's back, you can say Edge is back against the wall where this contract must be possibly being cut. But really, his career won't be over. Shawn Michaels is fighting for everything. There's no going back if he loses. There's none of that. He's fighting for everything here tonight. And I believe he will actually scrap his way to a victory. And all it's going to take, all it's going to take is that one sweet chin music. I think it'll knock Edge out cold. So I am going to pick Shawn Michaels.
All right. So we have 2 on Edge and 1 on Shawn Michaels in this one. I honestly would hate to see Shawn, leave as a competitor. So there's really only one way to find out, and that's, of course, tune into Backlash tomorrow. But it is now time to head into our main event predictions. It's going to be for the WWE Championship in a last man standing match as the Viper Randy Orton takes on his former friend in Triple H. Now, as you heard us note on the Kevin Owens Seth Rollins match earlier, that Triple H won the title after screwing over Kevin Owens in a fatal 4-way WWE Championship match at WrestleMania 7. Ever since then, he's held onto the title. He's taken out the likes of Dolph Ziggler to retain, and he's done everything he's had to do to avoid a challenge and whatever it may be. As you already know, he's thrown authority members at Kevin Owens left and right just to avoid Owens. And he doesn't want none of Kevin Owens. He's kind of weaseling himself out. But say that's the smart thing to do when you're a champion and you don't want to have to defend the title if you're a guy like Triple H. Now, if you're a guy like John Cena, totally different story. But Triple H is Triple H, and he's just a guy who's going to avoid the challenge if he can. Now, we saw in a Raw interview this past Monday that he is not bringing the corporate side of Triple H, like Orton calls him. He's bringing back the cerebral assassin, the game. So I think we may see a new side of Triple H. I'm really seeing, I'm looking forward to seeing if we will. As you can see in the bottom right corner of your screen, there is the match card for that. But Orton is a guy who, obviously RKO to nowhere. That's just, a phrase for him. That's just something he goes by, and it's true. That RKO can literally come out of nowhere. Triple H, meanwhile, has his pedigree, and he has a lot more powerful moves, I think, than Orton. Orton's more quick on his feet, though. So it's really two different styles colliding here. We've seen them fight in the past. Heck, we've seen one pick up a victory over another, vice versa. So it's a very personal feud. This goes all the way back to the Evolution days. You guys know the history of that one. One of the biggest feuds ever, whether it may be WWE, but also here in GGE. So in this one, it's just one of those matches that's kind of hard for me, but I feel the RKO is coming out of nowhere. It's gonna happen, and I think when that happens, lights out. Triple H is down for the 10 count. Randy Orton, the new WWE champion of Raw. So with that being said, let's swing on over to AJ.
I gotta agree with what you said about Randy Orton being quick on his feet. I feel that Triple H is more of a slow-paced style, where Randy Orton can use his speed and his power to his advantage. I feel that Randy Orton is one RKO away from becoming the World Heavyweight Champion on Raw, and I feel that if he hits RKO on the concrete, it'll put Triple H down. I'm going with Randy Orton to become the new World Champion on Raw tomorrow at Backlash.
All right, so that being said, we're going to get our final prediction of the kickoff show on Backlash with 3K5.
So, here's my thing. I think right here, the student surpasses the teacher. I think Randy Orton will defeat Triple H in this last man standing match. But my question right now is, if Randy Orton happens, is he going to get himself mixed up in a mess that, with the authority that he really doesn't want to get himself into, like as deep as, like, say someone like Kevin Owens is right now. So
Right.
I'm curious to see. I'm curious to see how, I guess, if Orton wins, what exactly is going to happen to him, because he definitely is going to have a hard title defense up the road. But for now, I'm going to pick Orton to beat Triple H.
All right, so a lot of good predictions here. We've completely gone over each and every single match on the card. We've gone over the backstory of the matches. Now, what I want you guys to do here watching this video, comment in the comment section below who you have winning from top to bottom, or just some of your favorite matches on the card. Let me just see some predictions in the comment section below. We hope you enjoyed this video. We're looking forward to Backlash again tomorrow at 11:30, or sorry, not 11:30. That's the normal time. We're moved to 7 o'clock. So used to saying 11:30. We're moving to 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, of course, on Sunday, live on the GGE Network. Again, hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a thumbs up. Again, the comments, your predictions of this. Before we get off, we're going to go into our promo video here for GGE Backlash. Hopefully you all enjoyed. 3K, AJ, you guys have any last words here for the viewers?
I feel that tomorrow's going to be a very fun show. There's a lot of surprises you won't see coming. And I hope you guys will enjoy the show tomorrow.
It's gonna be a real fun one for sure, and I just wanted to thank you guys for having me on today. Hope to do more in the future.
All right, sweet. All right, guys. Once again, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let's jump right into our Backlash promo video.
Vision of the future's getting good. Faded black and white. Maybe every shade of gray has left us colorblind. We are all the night and the world. We are sickness and the symptom and the cure. We are all the night and the world. We are sickness and the symptom and the cure. Stop close eyes, what you call it?
Bye.